Yo,
What it is? What's going
hey, what's
on?
good, my brother?
What's up, Quo?
Yo, man, we moving along on these episodes, huh? Is this number 5?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yeah, with up on Hiphopcitizen, I believe so. Yeah, and I don't
Yeah,
know how many crazy other ones we did. I think of the other ones as sort of the equivalent of like what was it? Bill and Ted. That one of those old movies where they were just trying to get their gig down before
the
they went
excellent
big time. You know what
adventure.
I mean?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was the excellent adventure, my dude.
absolutely. Yo, speaking
Yeah,
of which, did you see the new one, by the way?
I still haven't.
Dog.
That's
So
that's sad because you told me you were like, "Oh, it's so good." I'm like, I gotta watch it. The
let me tell you
nostalgia.
what I did. I mean, here we go veering off, but that's what we do. I I did the purchase. Have you ever done a purchase on when you stream something at home on TV?
I buy on Voodoo all the time.
All right. Well, I don't buy anything usually. I usually like rent. I do the $3.99 or the $2.99 if I ever don't have it. And don't get me started on Comcast Xfinity or whatever. But that's a
Seriously,
whole
I'm like, yo, your bill way up here, yo.
dog.
Looking at my roof.
I can't even. I don't even. I don't understand it. Like I don't. But that's a whole different issue. Maybe we'll go back to that. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Normally I do the $3.99 or whatever. But I think I did the day it came out. I think I spent whatever it was $7.99. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy that so I can have that. And it's like, when's the last time as an adult you rewatched like a comedy movie? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh, yo, I think I'm gonna do. I'm gonna watch Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure again. But in the
But it
back,
happens.
it happens.
It's that, yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man, to have that again, it's like, actually that Cobra Kai, right?
Oh my
On
God! No,
Netflix.
no spoilers here, man, because I have not started on the new season.
Yeah, I'd started it. So to me, what's funny about that in particular is it walks that fine line of corny,
Yeah,
but the nostalgia keeps you hooked. And it's
absolutely.
like, you know what I mean? And
I
in
could not
reality,
say
is
that
it's
better.
good. It's really well put together.
I could not say that better, homie. I was trying to
Yeah.
explain it to my dad, and I was like, "Yo,
What's up,
shoot."
Coleman?
I was like, it's corny in a good way. You know what I mean? It's like, and he watched the first episode. He's like, "Yo, I like this." You know what I mean? So,
And it's funny, I've watched all this, but like the kid that LaRusso was first battling with, beefing with the blonde dude,
mhm.
his character is so perfect, man.
Yeah. Oh, I
Like,
think, yeah,
yeah, he makes it, right? He kind of like
yeah,
sets that bar up high. I like it a lot, man. So
yeah,
yeah, I agree
absolutely,
with you. I hear it. You
absolutely.
know.
No, I think like a lot of these shows that are coming out now. I mean, Will Smith is like one of the producers of that show. So I mean,
I
it's
know
only
I've seen that.
yeah.
But
So
is that the whole time or just the season 3? He's been a
that's the whole
producer.
time. Yeah,
I
yeah.
just caught it this season. I'm like, wow, that is him.
It's all
With
because of
Brother
that
Kitchen.
connection from his son being in the remake.
Yeah, and that was they did great on that too, I think.
Yeah, so
Really
they
good.
they, they came and threw some big Willie money at it,
Yeah.
and now it's a whole different kind of level. Yeah, you know what I mean. So
Yeah. So let the people know who Professor Lyrical is.
man, I don't know who he is. Sometimes he's half man, half me. I guess he's
Mm. Got a
he's
cape.
yeah, man. He's First lyrical is in the third person is a professor who raps, man. And like I a lot of times I say it the other way around. I always say that to the other professors and people I work with. I always say I'm a rapper who teaches. You know what I'm saying? But
I like
yeah, but since professor comes first, you kind of like, you say professor lyrical, but yeah, man, just MC and a professor, man. And the professor came long after the MC. And it's funny too. In full honesty, it's funny you bring that up, man. Is
that.
that the title of like I also have a doctorate, right? So being Doctor Plord, right, which is cool.
Right.
Um, it's one of those things where when you're in higher education, a lot of schools are really formal, right? They're like doctor this, doctor that, right? All even talking to themselves. They'll be like, "Hey, Dr. Plord, what do you think about?" And I'm like, "Come on, dog. When we walk outside, you're gonna call me lyrical, probably. You know what I mean? Or you can't call
Yeah.
me Professor Lyrical or Pro or whatever. Some people call me by my first name, depending on how long I've known them, right? And the funny part about this whole thing is with the doctorate thing is like I got my doctorate in 2016. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like I just got it. Like it's not like I've had it like 20 years or something. So it's kind of new, and it's like it's the first thing people lead with all the time. So it's like that's almost like erasing the whole beginning of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have that till recently, you know, and I didn't have even the master's is relatively recently. Before that, I had a big gap between bachelor's, master's, and doctorate, you know, and for me,
But you've
just
been teaching in general for quite some time.
yeah, I was teaching. I was doing, you know, the teaching thing is funny. It's a funny gig, man. It's like when you teach high school, especially in like math, like they're so desperate that they'll take people that these days that are at least certified in something. So when I graduated from business school, the only thing I was able to get certified in for teaching was business. You know, you couldn't just walk in and be certified for the math test, right? Um,
Yeah,
I mean, you could go take the math test stone cold, but if you don't know anything about it and you don't have a math degree, as I didn't have at that time, I was like, man, that's probably not going to go well.
yeah.
And I actually failed the math test when the first time I took it. Like people always be like, "Yo, he's a math genius" or whatever. Okay, I've worked to become a lot better than I was, you know what I mean? So when I first took that test, I failed with a 69. You have to have a 70. You have to have a 70, and it was like, "What?"
69.
Just trying to, you know,
What were you thinking about?
just walking in, right? Just trying to walk in and just be like, "Yeah, I can do this." Maybe like brush up on a couple
Yeah,
of the
he
free
came in there. He's
questions.
like, "Yo, I'm gonna get that 69 on the
Dog,
test. Show him what's
no.
up. Get real hood." Remember that? Remember what is that? Don't be a menace to society while drinking juice in the hood or
Yes.
whatever. When
Yeah.
he's filling out with the thing, it's like sex. He's like, yeah, hell yeah.
But the way they make the credentials, man, it's like hard to pass that math test. I could obviously pass it now, but it was like when
Yeah.
I took that thing, man, you know, and this is the thing, I didn't even teach right out of school. You know what I mean? I was rapping out of school, and then I worked, you know, another job for a couple of years or whatever. And you go take one of those tests, and you got your degree a few years ago. Good luck with that. But I was
Mhm.
able in the same day to take if you ever want to be a teacher, and by the way, I highly recommend it actually. But if people want to be a teacher, right? You have to usually get certified in general, the teacher's test, and it's two parts. And at least when I took it, it was, and it's been that way for a long time. But so the Mass Department of Education, it was like, dude, it was like a 7 hour day. I mean, you got to get there, get in line. They hold it at one of the high schools. You go, and if you don't pass like with a 70 at least, right, in all the areas, you're not going to get certified, right?
Wow.
So I think I got like an 85 and like a 87 or something like that on the English and reading stuff, you know. So I actually knocked that out the park. And my subsection was business, which is what I had in school. So if you've studied it and you're a few years out, you know, you can actually do it. You know what I'm saying? But I should have prepped more, but I did. I was like, yo, that means I'm in. Then what you
Mm.
got to do is if you want to teach it, I wanted to teach in math, but I had no experience in math other than having an economics degree, which is a lot of math, right? But it's not like it's not like you're teaching math, you know? They know you're
Mhm.
going to be a teacher. They want you to know how to do all the standards that you're going to have to do all the way through calculus. And they give you fine detail minutia. Like they're not in the business of passing you. They want that, you know, test
Oh
money.
yeah. Right.
But dude, and then you have to go back they hired me on what's called waivers. So they hire you on waivers. And if they hire you on waivers, you can teach in your area as long as you're making progress towards the discipline that you want to teach it or that you're teaching it. So for me, they had me teaching math out the gate, but I wasn't really qualified technically to be certified in math at that point. So
Mhm.
then I started going for the masters one class at a time. And, you know, before you know it, you're talking a decade later before you're knocking at the door for a doctorate and a master's and all that stuff. I got the
Wow.
master's quicker. But so anyways, I say all that stuff because people be like, you know, you're just making a joke that, you know, when you say Professor Lyrical, that you're a rapper who's a teacher. I'm like, no, I've been a rapper
It's certified.
my whole life. The teacher thing is so far later, you
But
know.
people, just so you know, we both from New England, so that's the biggest blessing in this whole deal. But I was listening to him on a college radio station, 88.9, Emerson College, big
Mm,
shout out, when I was like 14, 15 years old.
mm,
You know what I mean? So that's incredible to be able to have that longevity and then the intelligence to proceed and become a professor
mm.
with some serious degree. Yo, the most humble person is sitting beside me virtually. You know what I mean? But
Appreciate
I
that.
pay attention every time you talk, brother, and people out there need to do the same.
Now you say that you say the humble thing, and I appreciate it.
Mm,
However, I was really fighting myself the other night. I think you saw the post that I put. I posted I posted about my old album, and I was really feeling my old
oh,
album, man.
infinity, yeah, infinity, yeah.
Yeah, I was feeling it, and I was like, I stayed up and I listened to it. I was like prepping for this other show I got coming up, right? And I was listening to the thing, and I was like, when I set out to make that, I told Robbie and I told Shame, I was like, look, I'm trying to make the best album I've ever made before. You know what I
Right.
mean? And I got done with that and I was like, yo, I definitely achieved it. And then because it was all people near and dear to me, people, I don't want people to get it twisted and be like, yo, Lyrical thinks his album's the greatest album ever made. But it's my favorite. And I mean it truthfully. It's like my wife sings on 3 songs. My you know, my man Derek is on there, Sick Man, and you know, Presence from my old group. My man Robbie, who's a former student, engineered the whole thing. I went back and forth to Shame's house when he was in Worcester and I was in Lowell, and Cambridge, back and forth all the time, like just to go do one track at a time kind of thing. You know, we did that over the course of years, you know. So,
Mm.
and then the photography was all done by my brother-in-law, who's
He's
a
nice.
master photographer, you know. Shout out to Raymond Jones. So, you know, I put that on there and then I listened to it and I'm like, this is exactly the music that I wanted to make at the level of craftsmanship that I was able, you know what I mean? And
Right.
it was, to me, exactly what I set out to do. So, you know, like sometimes like it's even like buying a pair of shoes or something. Sometimes you go to a store, you want to find the perfect pair of shoes and you find them, or a car, whatever it is, and you find them and you're like, yo, I can't believe I got exactly
What I want.
what I wanted, right? Even if you didn't know what it was. In other words, you don't know what your album's gonna look like. You think about it in your head and you try to manifest it, right? And like you might be thinking the same thing. If you don't have a particular pair of shoes you're trying to get, you just have the
Mhm.
vision in your head and you're like, these are exactly them joints that I wanted. So the album for me was like, yeah, the perfect,
That
it came true, you know what I mean? And so, but
that's
I
the
didn't mean
that's
it
the
like,
that's the
I think I'm,
fruition of a beautiful phrase, which is reap and sow, right?
word.
You when you're sowing those seeds and you know, look, people sometimes they plant one type of seed, they got an apple seed in there, they think they're gonna get a peach. Nah, man, you get an apple seed, right? So when you plant something that's deep in your soul, like you have so many people involved with it, creating this album that you have, that's that special thing that you sowing from that. So that's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it meant a lot, man. I appreciate you
Yeah.
saying and asking. So that's what I do, man. And excuse me. Woo. But
Mm,
and you know, I'm always you know, the whole reason there is a ProQuo show is because it came from that mutual respect as artists, you know. And
right.
when we really hooked up for the first time at that show you came to in Lowell, years back now, um, you know, it was already evident to me how your level, you know what I'm saying? And it was like we've said this story before, and it's nice to recap after the New Year's for people who are just checking in for the first time. Shout out to my man C Steez, who's in the green room. Um,
Stays, what's up?
yeah, man. Nah, so what I want to say about that is like the level of craftsmanship that you were already at, right? Like
Mm,
made me say, like, yo, I could actually see myself doing a joint with this dude. And you know, as someone who wasn't doing a lot of collabs with people that I didn't really know, it
yeah,
was that was a big deal for me. And I was like, always in the back of my head, I was like, yo, this dude's vibe is right. Like his skill level is impeccable, you know. And and you don't hear people who are impeccable at what they do when the buzz usually isn't there. You know what I'm saying? And it's
right.
like, why have I not heard of this dude at the level that he should be at? You know, so that was what was going through. And I was like, this dude is the diamond in the rough kind of thing that I don't have to polish because he's already polished. And it's not like you're doing a you know, taking some dude under your wing kind of thing and trying to
Yeah,
take them to
man.
the level that no, you were at the level, so it's
You know
easy
what
for me.
it is that I think especially in our craft is that we come across a lot of uncut gems, right?
Yes,
That are
sir.
just unrefined. And you might say, yo, you're a gem, but like you got a lot of trimming and cutting that you got to do versus when you have two gems polished out.
Yep.
That and the reality is we constantly for the rest of our lives, we're gonna continue to make that gem more defined and beautiful, right? But to have it where it's like, yo, respectable, that's the beauty. And for you, man, going right back, kind of flipping it, there's a specific category of MC that's a pure lyricist. And that's why the name suits you so well, is because it's so embedded in your mind, body, and soul. The anima of your existence is in these lyrics, and you don't half step nothing.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that
Yeah,
from
and that's that Rakim level, bro. So trust me, two
crazy, man.
gems come together, and then they get the what? The Pro
Yeah.
Quo album.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's getting there, man. It's really getting there. I'm excited. Yo, I listen to it like all the stuff we're doing, like the stuff that's
Hmm.
in the shoot every day, and I'm like, this is on pace to be like something I haven't heard before, and another high quality level kind of craftsmanship. It would be like if that was a suit that I was going to buy a new suit, like that wouldn't be something you could get off the rack. You'd have to have that custom tailored, and you'd have, you know what I mean? And it's like
Exactly. It's
it's
not
that,
just some Walmart pushing thing. This is a
yeah.
custom suit. That's a
And it's
perfect
like,
way
I
to
don't
put
want people to get it twisted, thinking, yo, we're up here like trying to like, gas ourselves and be like, Jay's so dope and pros like so. Nah, it's like this. It's like this show wouldn't have existed if it wasn't like that. Because what we
Mhm.
started doing is working on this craft, and we're like, yo, the process we're doing, like I put 5 minutes of fame up there, but really I want to change the fame to flames. All right. And so the
Mhm.
reason we said that is we want to give other people the opportunity to come up here, come up rock on the show and do 5 minutes, man. Even if we don't know you, if you just send the info in, we'll tell you a little bit more about it in a
Yeah,
minute.
we're gonna post the email that y'all can send it to.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I got a little something for that later that we can put up there. But the idea being is that if you got music, we're not charging you. There's no pro quo on the ProQuo show. You know what I mean? It's like you just come on up and you got the skills, or even if the skills aren't exactly 100% polished, like Jay was saying, let us hear the music. We'll critique it and then give you 5 minutes to we'll actually do a little mini interview with you.
Yeah.
And the email's easy. It's the ProQuo Show at gmail.com.
Simple.
So, or hit us up on our social media. That might be like a little slower sometimes because I know I can slack with that, but it also could be quicker. We might just
Mm.
see it right there
Hit
and be
us
like, yo,
everywhere. Show us that you're
yeah,
serious. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
just hit us up. And
Effort. Without effort, we're nothing. You know what I
ab-
mean?
absolutely.
So
But that's that. And so yeah, I'm excited. Anyways, what we're saying is we're excited about the music. And for people who don't know, on the pro side, pro, as Quo was saying, pro has been doing it for a long time. Pro will be 5-0 in 2 days if you didn't know.
that's
That's
correct, bro.
yeah, man. So
I
so
I do know, and
the
hopefully everybody else knows because you're gonna get the good birthday cheer.
thanks, man.
Okay, the
But
10th.
but all that being is that you're always working for self-betterment. No matter what you do, whether you teach, you produce, I don't care what it is that you do, whatever your job is, unless you're doing that job just to pay the bills, it can get demoralizing sometimes. But if you're doing something that you love, hopefully you're trying to work to improve and use that as a platform for betterment that spills over into all areas. For
Mhm.
me, like a lot of people say, yo, how'd you get the degrees and do all this stuff? It's literally writing the rhymes and knowing that I could perfect at least the 16 made me say, well, why can't I perfect the paper? You know what I mean? Like, why can't I take that same discipline that I would have to put
Mhm.
into making the perfect sort of verse to work a problem through? And it was a lot of locking myself in the basement and literally not coming out, that kind of stuff. There's no natural skill. I have no natural kind of math talent. I just worked hard, and worked hard. And same thing with the
Same
hip
way
hop.
with the rhyming. Yeah, man.
Same
We start, but for you being a
zero skill.
5-0, the biggest thing about that is the fact that most people can't even fathom what you had to do to keep yourself looking the way you do.
Put
Because reality is like, again,
myself
say
together, let my
what?
tape.
Say what? But that's called low stress because you're happy. Happiness is the most important thing.
Speaking of happy, shouting out Coburn Classroom. What up, Coburn Classroom?
Hey, what's
Um,
up, y'all?
Good to see you out there, man. That's
5 minutes of flames gonna be interesting though, for sure, man.
yeah, man. Definitely, man. And so, and like what I was saying too, like on the whole, like on the birthdays and age and all that kind of stuff, is like
Mhm.
I remember when I was much younger, I always kidded myself into thinking I was an old MC. You know what I mean? I was like, I'd be young because people were comparing us to kid groups at the time, and it was like I'd be like, man, I'm 18. And I'll tell you a funny story. I was on the Michael Bivins had a thing called the Biv 10s. People that know me close probably know what I'm going to say. So I was on Michael Bivins' Biv 10 roster. I was the only MC who looked like me. So he put together a 10 MC kind of group, and they saw me rocking uh in Roxbury. And so they were like, yo, that dude right there, like that needs to be the last dude, right? So I didn't know what was going on. And they were like, yo, Michael Bivins, I'm his personal manager, and he wants you to be on the Biv 10 project. And I was like, what? And we're like, yeah, man, it'll be perfect for you. And I was like, well, okay, what do I got to do? They're like, nothing. Just come in and kick those kind of rhymes. So it's just for all the MCs in all the dopest top 10 MCs who are still kids. Like you got to be under 21. I was like, oh, cool. And I'm thinking in my head, I was 25 at the time, right? And I was like, I was about to be 25, and I was like, yeah. And then the other dude was like, yeah, 18 and under. And then I was like, oh man. So I kept that real on the low, and that was just a funny age story. But and anyways, we made the record, and Smoke Bulge was on the record, all kinds of people that you may or may not know if you're close with Boston hip hop. But the record actually was on was Motown, and then it was like when Andre Harrell, rest in peace, was going through some stuff, and Bobby Brown's situation was kind of going out of control. Yeah. And Ronnie DeVoe was on the record. And so it was like Ronnie DeVoe and us, and the record, like I think it was like white labeled, and then they never put the push into it when the whole Motown thing collapsed. But I met mad people through that, and that was crazy cool. But it's funny because that was in like 96. You know what I'm saying? No, 95. So I was in 95. And then the next year, Fee and I got to meet Ski, and we started doing the whole Rock a Block Rockefeller thing. And it's crazy because you think about how long ago that was, but I was an adult at that time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you talk to people about recording or whatever, and I'll be like, yeah, I was in the room when they were recording. Yeah, I was at D&D. I was at Ski's crib in 95.
Yo, I came out my first anything.
And they're like, how old are you? I was like, oh, at that time I was like 25. You know what I'm saying? They're like, what? Okay. Yeah.
I was, dude. I mean, in 95 when the .com boomed, right? Mm-hmm. I made my first tape in 95, my first physical tape. We took the pictures with the Polaroid, made it official, had the back art, everything drawn in and everything.
Gotta do it.
Pop the tape. And then the CD-ROMs and the CD burners came into play, and I was like, y'all gotta get me one of those. I'm gonna work in Market Basket for a month.
Whatever you had to do. I mean, it was like, yeah, you didn't even know how to typeset. Like how do you even, like the picture I had, I think I dropped it on the floor. I had it the other day. I whipped it out. It was that picture. Oh, here it is, right? Like this thing right here. Yo, that was like when there were word processors, you know what I'm saying? But this was like 98.
You still working with the floppy. And that's official for 98 though.
These were the 3 live musicians we had that Fee had put together. It was me and Fee, and this was after I graduated from college, you know what I'm saying? So it was like before that, when we did a cassette, it was called No Labels. We had it in the Strawberries chain. We were like the first group we knew that were in Strawberries, dog. I sold 100 of them. I was 18 years old and sold it to this guy, Norm Hunter. And I sold them 100 copies up front. It was like the biggest achievement of my life. I got dressed in a suit, went down, had my little like briefcase, put on glasses, everything to try to age myself, right? And look like I was really a business person. And that I never told him that I was in the group. I actually he never asked. And I was I represent XCal, and the local store person told me what I had to do, and he knew there was some interest for our stuff, whatever. Drove down there in my little Nissan Sentra, and I couldn't believe the dude bought the things. And it's a funny story, man. Speaking of like, back in the day, a lot of people don't know this. Like the wax on my wall way over there, the black one, that's Bought a Messenger. That came out in 97. This one here is 98, right? I always say, my first record there in 97. That's not my first record. I was on a record, Excalibur. We were on a record in 1989 on wax. And I don't even have a copy. Fee does. And we started making it in 87. So we were like 15, 16 years old at WJUL, freestyling up on the radio station. And so when you think about that, and you think about the artists that are out there and what they're doing, and you try to find an artist who's actually left from that era, it's kind of like one of those shows where you go into the future, like you travel in space, and you come back and the time has changed, and you come back and there's nobody left. It's like, there's Ed O.G., you know what I'm saying? He's absolutely like a mentor, sort of, in terms of like the blueprint that he laid or whatever. And he made a lot of people think it was possible. But you can count on your hands the amount of people that I can remember from when I came up. And so it's crazy because it's like, where are they? And I love this forum because you see the demand for quality music from cats who just aren't clubbing like that, and they're not chasing the club money, and they stop basically stopped doing, or at least publicly doing, what they love. And that's like, I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man. I do like, 30 shows a year. If I would do 60 if I could, you know what I mean? But it just, I can't imagine stopping. And I think about all the dope people in Massachusetts, man, who just, as I was coming up, who just, I don't see them doing it. And I'm like, yo, send me your stuff, man. Let's play some music. Let's get because people are doing a lot of stuff in their house and they ain't letting everybody hear it. They're like, man, I'm too old to do that. And I'm like, what? I'll be doing this at 85. I can walk at 85. Man, I'm gonna be rapping at 85. You know what I'm
As
saying?
long as you keep, it's the stick to itiveness, right?
Yeah.
The no quit mentality, that strive to go forward. When you love something, is when it comes to music and that love is there, you just have to realize and recognize that it's never going to go anywhere. So what you're going to do, maximize everything you do with it. And you are setting the example and teaching me, yo, how are we going to make some, like, put that job title, reverse that job title where it's like, yo, I'm Jay Cruz, the MC, and I'm a postal worker part-time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that philosophy is beautiful. And the philosophy of you going out and selling these things, going to Strawberries like a businessman in that mind state, that's the difference. When it's raining outside, right? On a rainy day, you got two people and they sitting in the rain and they look outside. One dude's like, yo, it's raining out. People can't they can't expect for me to go outside and like make sales today. It's raining out.
The other side of it too is like you have to see something. Like, it's not like these were original ideas. It's not like these were, I'm not like trying to take credit like I did something special that other people did. I was just, what happened is it actually worked, but then you got to acknowledge privilege, right? You got to acknowledge the way I looked. I was able to, looking like this, dress up in a suit, go in and be like, oh, who's this, handsome, well, maybe not handsome, but like well-dressed Caucasian dude who just bust up in my spot. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have the roadblocks. And I know, as being a successful promoter in Boston too, I was able to get shows at all kinds of places that other people couldn't get access at. Wonder why? You know what I'm saying? And then what I would do is flood up the shows with all the people that I knew who couldn't get in the front door. You know what I mean? So it would be like, all right, I'm gonna do a weekly hip hop thing, and I'm just gonna put in all the people, that I know. And I think that's the difference, because a lot of times what'll happen is it's easy to be like me, the crabs in a barrel kind of thing. You know what I mean? And be like, yo, I'm going to put myself on, whatever. Yeah, I put myself on, but I put everybody I knew, every human person I knew that was doing something quality, man, they rocked on Lansdowne Street for a year when I ran the residence there. I put them in, the MIDI. I didn't need to know them either. Just like the same way we're saying here, yo, hit us up with the music. You know what I mean? Just hit us up. Angela's asking you, preach postal. Oh, I thought she said which postal work. She said preach postal work. The Dirty South needs it.
Oh man, I'm not seeing the.
Sorry about that. She said BBD
there we go.
On the street.
Preach postal worker. That's right, girl. I'm gonna do that, Angela.
Hey man, I'm for. Does this count? Can I be brethren? Because I was UPS. Does that count? Like, I was
for you, yes.
Oh, all right. I didn't know if that's the enemy.
Same struggle. Nah, man. It's that when you're a postal man, it's okay. I understand that you're working.
Yo, my whole neighborhood worked there. Like, it was like everybody who couldn't get a job anywhere. Like, that's where everybody ended up at the UPS, man. It was at the end. So you could cut through. When I moved to Chelmsford, the street that we were on, the end of that street, you go down to the end. It's actually where Comcast is. When you pay your bill, see, I told you we get back to Comcast. When you pay your bill, a Comcast, it says Chelmsford, Mass on it, right? Mine does right here, right? My Xfinity bill. And I remember that little Comcast. It was like something Colonial Cable or whatever, and it got bought out and it became Comcast. But the street that I was on connects to the other side of Lowell. So we like drive our bike and we get back in. My parents were pretty clever about the whole getting into the different school district, kind of just like one of the first communities over the border kind of thing, so you can get into the other school. But again, it goes back to that. If you don't have somebody advocating for you, privileged to do that, if you don't have someone to tell you, navigate the whole business landscape, how to even dress in a suit, right? Like all these things that you take for granted, and you're like, nah, it isn't that I did anything special. It's that I believed I could get it done because I seen other people that were doing similar things, like maybe in a business community that someone else didn't see. You know what I mean? Or
in all honesty, the reason why I didn't go to UPS was because of Biggie.
Oh, dog!
Don't be mad, son. UPS.
Now your age is me. There was no Biggie at that time, but I was doing it through college. They paid to go to college if you worked at UPS. I had to work the night shift. I think it was like 11 to 4. Yeah. And if you did it, they paid for you to go. it was like the UPS scholarship kind of thing or whatever. They'd give you like,
Yo, great company, man. They are great companies. Reality, you know.
oh, they see, I don't even know, man. I don't.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
I mean they benefits and all that, and it's a
Yeah,
good deal. It's a good deal for sure. But yo, pro, we got Steve chilling in the
dude, we do.
backdrop, right?
We do.
And we got what we gonna intro the show with, showing the new material.
Man, you the DJ, man. You
All
DJ
right.
DJ J
So
Cruz.
check it out. Before we bring Steve's in, my brother from another mother, he was on our show previous to us being on the Hip Hop Citizen format, which is definitely a beautiful format. Shout out Hip Hop Citizens. And look, we're gonna plug a couple sponsors real quick too. We're doing the double C's right now, and what that is that's the champion.
Oh wow. You said sponsor. You didn't even say unofficial, official. You like sponsor.
We dropping all that.
That's that mind state right there, man.
Yeah, we visualizing champion because I be rocking the champion, and we also doing the Chantex double C's.
Oh, let them know. Let them know about that.
That's a good face for that. I'm gonna be quitting smoking because of this. I'm gonna have some dope dreams too. Or we could do a triple double with the triple double C's and say, I got the C's hat on too. Can't really see it, but I got the Mitchell and Ness.
I've been enjoying
hat on. Yeah, what you got? I think I may know what you got, but we'll see.
Oh no, I wasn't even gonna grab it yet. But
okay.
I was actually looking for my Celtics hat because it fell on the floor. Nah, I was just saying I was enjoying the Celtics, so big up that sponsorship. Big up the champion. I had the champion coat on earlier. I just went to
we'll talk about that later, right? The C's. We'll hit the C's up.
Yeah, but champion, they need to holler. You know what I mean? Champion, you need a champion like
Jay. Come on, you rocking the champion. But yo, look, we gonna play this record.
Good look on that.
Oh yeah. Chantex is huge, man. Health. This is the year of health for Cruz. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I have to get healthy for my family and to have the energy to be able to pursue these goals that I'm setting.
Yeah, because in like a million years, when you're like 49, you know what I'm saying? You got over a decade, man. But I'm saying you got to be prepared for that. My son the other day, he said that he saw a picture of a lady and she had this big like lines over right there, like wrinkles on her lips.
Oh yeah.
He goes, that's because she smokes. I was like, whoa, okay. I was like, you're right. I was like, you're right. Wow.
Nothing like a child, man. Wide open with their viewpoint, just wide open. So innocent and pure. But yo, the record that y'all about to hear is going to be on the ProQuo album. This is, again, still kind of in the rough works, but it's still very worthy. It's called New Bap. And this record is produced by a duo of people, both from Amsterdam, the Netherlands, one from Amsterdam and one on the Germany border there. Mitchell Drix and Larcy Vegas, and the track is called New Bap.
All right. And I'm playing that, right?
Pro about to play it up. I'm gonna mute myself, and y'all, thanks again for tuning in to the ProQuo Show. We are blessed to have you watching and listening. Hopefully you learned something tonight and hear some dope music from your boys. You still the Band Lab got Apple products, by the way, man. I told you earlier, but for the people, Apple products and Band Lab don't mix, man. They're like, you got to use Logic, you got to use this, man.
Band Lab's not feeling it right.
My hand.
Band Lab is falling apart at the seams. What's going on, Band Lab?
Oh yes, and the phone lines are open, my people. So make sure you dial in. We get you up in here, get you the link and everything, and come in and talk to us.
What's going on with it's not log in, man? This band, it could have been a Band Lab sponsorship too. It could have been Band Lab.
Y'all slipping right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at that. That's never happened before, yo. It's got a memory. All right, we might have to jump off that and make it happen after we see.
That may need to happen. Yeah, why don't we do that? Angela's saying Chantex. I'm gonna try to put it, man. Whoa.
Chantex.
Varanilline, Botox Cosmetic. Jeez. Oh, these are the sponsors. Yeah. Botox. Okay. Angela, we're gonna have to have you on the show at some point so we can talk about Botox. That's cool. We're gonna have in cosmetics. I heard about Botox being good for like migraines and stuff too.
I didn't.
That's what I heard.
I don't know nothing about that.
I don't either.
Yo, we got to get my man Matt Coburn up on the show, man. Matt, you got to holler, man. You got to come up on the show. I ain't seen you in a minute.
It's Steve. Where's Steve's at? Why don't we bring Steve's in? You want to knock on that door?
Yeah, absolutely. If he's ready to be knocked upon,
Ready to be knocked upon?
let's try
Let's
it.
see.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna happen. We're gonna try. Anybody home?
Double knock.
Anybody home? Oh, it worked.
Oh, there he is.
What's going on?
What it is, C Steez.
What's
Yo, I
going
forgot.
on?
I forgot to tell you, man. You got any headphones hanging around once we bump that music? Because it'll mess with the audio. But for now, we're okay. But if you got some, or you rocking them and I just can't see them.
No, I don't have any on me right now.
Oh well, we'll just kick you out when we play the music.
Okay.
No, all you gotta do, Steve, is just mute your mic. That's all you gotta do, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, what's good, man? It's been a month, maybe. I mean, we talked to you recently, but it's good to have you back, man.
I was just, not to make it so bad, but I was almost in a life or death situation just now. So you know what I mean? Somebody just mistaking my car for somebody else, you know what I mean? But
is that you're talking about what we were just talking about, right?
And it just happened like
that's on top of what we were just talking about?
Yeah.
I thought you were changing the names to protect the innocent right there. Damn, man. You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. For real.
Is it based on kind of what we were talking about?
I don't know. Like, it was just,
wow.
I was dropping off a friend, and then next thing you know, it was just somebody pulled up beside of me. It was tailing me the whole time, but they put up beside of me. Then I was just trying to peep what's going on. I dropped off my friend, but it was just a bad. He mistaken for somebody else. You know what I mean? That's what I really.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, don't say too much right on this format. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
man. Yo, for people that don't know, C Steez is in DC, and when you talk about, to add on top of that craziness, man, I mean, you've been going through. I know what you've been going through, and I feel for you, bro, because you've just been, the timing of stuff couldn't be worse, in terms of, we're dealing with obviously the COVID crazy presidential situation, and then how DC has been for the last like 3-4 days now, and then on top of this, which is just regular business, you know what I mean? It's just
it's tough every day, man. It's it's a fight, you know what I mean? It's just like, DC, I'm not gonna say it's in a good standing right now, you know what I mean? It's like bad, it's just bad, you know what I mean? And just hope and pray it gets better, but you just gotta continue to keep fighting, stay positive, keep the faith, and keep doing what I've been doing, you know what I mean, whether that's performing or doing the work I'm doing through the organization I'm working with. So
yeah, man. You want to big up that organization?
I work for Serve Your City in DC, community organization, helping out people delivering food, cleaning supplies, masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, basically giving our people.
Shout out to Maurice Cook, by the way.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Maurice Cook and all the people that's a part of the camp, just helping out people that look the same as me, Black and brown people, also lessening the digital divide, and making sure families have computers, hotspots, tablets, some type of internet or some type of computer to help them along for their kids to have for the school year and help them continue to progress in this current state crisis that we're in right now. So
dope,
man. That's really dope. Yeah. Helping out the community, that's the most important thing, man. And especially, I mean, I'm definitely fortunate being where I'm at now in life, where my, on the map, really. The city definitely can mess with you and force your hand, and your deck is different every day. Here it's like I kind of play in the same hand. I know, not too much out there to expect, you know what I'm saying, out of the ordinary. But Steez, man, you gonna be okay throughout all this anyway, because you got a strong soul. So that definitely aids you.
Yeah, I'm thankful. You know what I mean? Be on this platform with you, Cruz, Jay Cruz, and also Professor Plord, like I always say. You know what I mean? I'm just happy just being both of y'all, just amazing individuals, just, you know what I mean? So just love
as you are my man.
Yeah,
dude. You don't even know my people. Look, we had him come on. He recited this poem that he wrote, and I'm telling you, it was like breathtaking the way he was feeling it, the way he was saying it. It was over a situation that he went through that was really touch his heart, and we might have to call back on that.
Yeah,
Don't
Sloan,
take that.
real slow.
Not to put you on any kind of spot.
Yeah,
but,
we ain't putting the pressure on. We
taking
kind
that in the head,
of turn it on medium high.
I'm always clipped up, you know what I mean? I'm
You always
always
clipped
all
up.
ready, you know what I mean? I can spit a little song. It's an old poem. What I said, greatness is in your eyes, but I peep the flaws. Get nods of approval, but I'd rather see applause. Been out of sight for a minute. Apologies for the missing calls. Just know what I said. I said, greatness is in your eyes, but I peep the flaws. Getting nods of approval, but I'd rather see applause. Been out of sight for a minute. Apologies for the missing calls. Just no distractions get no attention when the focus is on acquiring it all. Diamond and D, certified and widely agreed, poverty breed. I'm a high-class writer with dreams that knows how to mix with elegance, stylishly clean, while still be on the scene, chasing and claiming the highest esteem. This electrifying flow is making them nervous, running this race with infinity. Let's see who make it the furthest. I'm embracing the merge, relentlessly pacing through circuits. And in my ways as a patron and servant. It's about time for me to start initiating my service. Went from labeled basic and worthless to a motivational vocal staple with purpose.
Okay. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Come on, who he said going for infinity, who running the furthest?
Journal it.
You going.
Yeah, man. Journal it, man. Yeah, and it's all about, like, you know, we were talking about, you know, keeping them gems polished, man. That's what it's all about, you know. You gotta do it for therapy, self-help, do it for self-betterment, man, and then share that gift. That's the most important thing, man. And we appreciate you sharing that, man.
I thought I was my biggest critic, but this man, Mr. Ployd, every time I let him hear something, hey, what's filler right there? Nah, that needs to be tweaked, that needs to be changed.
Yeah, man.
Take that out, you know what I mean? Like, seriously. So I thought I was hard on myself, but
we were talking earlier and we were saying, like, you know, there's gems everywhere. And, you know, some of them are stones, but there's a lot of gems. And then you have gems that have different levels of that gem where it's like, you know, completely raw in the earth still. And then the ones that are polished, and then the ones that just keep getting better with time, more pristine, right? And you are one of those gems that's already been polished, cut out. You're out of the earth. And that's why me and Pro connect so well. And that's why when you came on, I'm like, this dude the same. You know, that polish is there. You care about that gem. And that's the difference. People don't care. They don't even know they got a gem. And that's why they're stones.
Yeah. We were just talking about that earlier today, man. We were talking about how we're both concerned about the words, you know what I mean? And how the words matter. And he's being a little too kind on himself, a little not kind enough on himself, because it's like he's the one who comes seeking he seeks the refinement, you know what I mean? He wants the polish all the time, you know. He's like, yo, I think I like this, and he's like, you know, what do I got to do to make it gleam, you know what I mean? I don't mean like changing it up or whatever, but I'll just be like, you know, that when you said that second line, did that ring true to you, or were you saying it to fit the flow, or, you know, or was there anything in there that you could have taken out that didn't need to be there, or was it there? I'll ask. I'll be like, is that for a purpose, or was that? And he'll be like, yeah, man, I don't even need that word or whatever. So we're not talking. I don't do any kind of surgery, man. I'm just a listening board to hear and just sound it off with, and because that's what I want too, you know what I mean? I always want, I say all my stuff to him too, and I'll be like, yo, what do you think? And he'll be like, whoa, that's flames, and then he'll be like, okay, and I'll be like, okay, maybe I need to work harder on that because he didn't get excited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I always just want to hear, like, just from other. That's why I always like pick his brain. Like, I always used to go to this man office like faithfully, like just to get game, circle game, not that because, you know what I mean, I admire what he do, you know what I mean, like consistent. I want to have more discipline about my craft, you know what I mean? Even with all the stuff going on, if I say I'm busy, but I always want to be like, I need to get my pen game on my level of wordplay, you know what I mean, at a high level, challenge myself. So I always ask, he always look at sometimes he'll look at it, or not even always look at it, but let him hear it and be like, some words are redundant, you know what I mean? All right, if you're saying this more than once, take this out or switch it up. Just give me good advice for me to, you know what I mean, going towards either this piece or going into towards my other future pieces, you know what I mean? Not necessarily like taking me and writing me some verses, you know what I mean? But it's like, all right, if you're saying this more than once, all right, it needs to be cut, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sometimes, you know what happens? I know for a creative person, and again, trying to find that equal or someone that you can actually look up to, you know, we fall into the trap of settling, right? Where it's like, this is, especially if you're feeling it, you're like, yo, the pen's gonna go. This is what I'm saying. And you may overlook it in that habit of overlooking the things because it sounds right, it felt right. But you know what? If you reworked it a little bit more, it would step it up an increment.
Yeah.
You know, it's never like when he's talking that to you, it ain't like, yo, you're gonna go leaps and bounds because you already there. It's like
you're already there, man. It's like
that little tiny piece that
you know, it's the equivalent of like I try to go back to the what we were talking about suits earlier. It's the equivalent of, yo, that suit looks nice, right? And it's like, yo, that pocket square right there, you could just, you know, tweak that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy work for me, you know, and I get the benefit of only, you know, having to do that for people that are that ambitious. And someone like yourself, C. Steez, who's as motivated as you are, and your whole, you know, I know Coburn Classroom, he can verify that too. You know, Professor Coburn. It's like, you know, you're the kind of cat that people want to work with because you make it easy. You're humble. You're one of the humblest people I know. You'll kill a show and you'll come off the stage and be like, ah, man, like that could have been so much better. You know what I'm saying?
That's so crazy. Yeah. That is so crazy that I do that all the time. Like every time I say, nah,
I mentioned you with PD the other day, man. I mentioned you with PD. I was like, someone said something about what I was wearing or whatever, and it was the sweater that I got from you, dog. And it was funny. I was like, yo, that was from a student. And I was thinking about it. I said one of my students. And I was like, that's actually not true. C. Steez has never been one of my students. He's just a student where I teach, and he's already graduated. You know what I'm saying? And like, getting to go to his graduation, at least for his first degree, is crazy, man. Because that's the bigger goal. You know what I mean? To quote Jay Cruz, the bigger goal is well, I'll say it's about me, because I find satisfaction personally in getting to help somebody else who already wants to help. You know what I mean? So if you make it easy, and that's why you've done so well, and why dude kills it academically, he kills it at like, he's like a servant. You know what I mean? He has a servant first mentality, and so everyone gravitates to him. You know, and I'm just blessed to know you, man, and just like I've benefited from seeing your positive energy, and so it always kills me when you're going through it. You know what I'm saying? Especially, I mean, the whole
you know what, and sometimes it's like, how do you talk to someone in a difficult situation like Steve's, right? Such a great human being surrounded by evils, right? How do you control those evils? And hold on, I'm sorry. So, you know, leading with the person you are, right? I mean, when we said, what do you do? And then you gave the description of your job.
Yeah.
Just that alone is the leading pack of yourself. Like, I mean, you're a helper. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to do good for your community. Your heart is whole. You're all, you know, good inside. That is going to reverberate and come back to you tenfold. And all these extra additives from the outside that's trying to take you down, by you standing and surviving the winters, yo, these summers and springs are going to look so much better because you've came out of that winter stronger. Like, you know what I mean? It's building you up, not taking you down. And that's huge, man. So I salute you. You know?
Great way to put it.
You see what John Hart wrote? I think it's Hart, right? Every art form that places value on words has some form of a writer's room.
That's a really, really well said.
Yeah, and that's kind of true. You know, I mean, we think of the Artist Collective. You know, he's also president of that, which is kind of in limbo right now due to COVID. But we do need to see Steez. In all seriousness, we do need to resurrect that, man. We do, you know, because we could be doing this for the Artist Collective. You know what I'm saying? And I know we threw the hook out there, and nobody was biting because it was probably crazy times because we were right in the middle of last semester, and it was just so new for a lot of people, even the semester before, right when it started. But we probably need to go harder this semester, man. I know it starts Monday, but
you're right.
You know what I mean? Because this outlet is so important. You know, I don't mean this outlet, but it's not the ProQuo Show. But I'm saying these kind of, you know, forums, you know, and you know, I played Chris Emden. Shout out to Dr. Chris Emden, by the way. Mentor of mine. He was I didn't even tell him I played this. I played a clip of him in our faculty development the other day, And he's talking about that. He's like advocating. He's like, what are people doing for? He was really big on what are people doing for institutional racism that's inside of institutions right now during COVID-19, because COVID-19 is one epidemic, but the other epidemic of institutional state-sanctioned racism that goes on every day, right, at institutions of higher learning, whether they mean to or not, especially now in DC. But he was saying this in the summer. And, he put it out there. He's like, what are you doing as a faculty member to, utilize, Facebook, to utilize Instagram, to utilize Twitter, to utilize, and this is a dude who runs Hip Hop Ed, the hashtag Hip Hop Ed on Tuesday night. So it's not like he's speaking out the corner of his mouth. But it's like these kind of avenues and forums to engage your students, whether it's in class time or out, and it's like all faculty, man, we all need to be thinking like, how can we reach out right now? Because it's serious times, man. And the institution, our institution, like all other institutions, they'll say it from a fiscal responsibility side as well. They'll be like, hey, look, enrollments are going to be dropping at all these institutions. So only the fit ones are going to really survive the winter, as Jay put it as well, for the institution. So it's not just, what are you doing to help the students? It's like, what are you going to do to make sure this institutional platform actually even survives too? And it really, you got to be doing both. But it's crazy times, man, especially for students that are of all ages, man, because people get it twisted and they think, everybody you're teaching is, 18 to 22. Nah, that model's out the window.
This comment that Angela just put up is so true about people caring.
They don't care about institutional racism.
Yeah, and what's crazy about it is that you cannot change anybody except yourself. So the moment that we try to change others, that's the person that's not you, right? Now you're defeating your purpose. The only thing you can do is speak like what you're saying, Pro, right? You bring that out to the forefront of who you are and you make it powerful so that other people can see it, right? To get inspired, to have self-motivation to change. The people that don't look at the tree is the damn tree and the bush is the bush. You cannot tell the bush to become a tree. It is a tree.
Preach.
The person that doesn't listen is not going to listen. So why waste hours of your life, years of your life trying to get that one person, two people to forget it? Be you, say what you're going to say, and then the change comes from within. And that's all that matters, because no matter what, you got 100 people in the room, right? You the one that changed. The 99 others haven't. Guess what? That's how it is. And that's how it's going to be for the next 1,000 years. That's just how it is. History says that. So the more people that are like us that recognize we the ones to change by changing ourselves, that's the key. So good.
I battle with that all the time. I battle with that every time.
I battle with it all the time too, because
you're a good person. When you can, and that's what the problem is.
No more anti-conspiracy theory videos on my Facebook page. Is that what you're telling me? Like I'm trying to save the lost souls.
Well, no, because it's good, because that keeps people thinking. You got to keep people on their toes and on. You know what I mean? That's different. What I'm saying is, like, when you start to get stressed out, when your anatomy gets affected by it.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Like. Yeah. My anatomy could easily, for Steve's, where he's, life death situation. I'm like, damn, my anatomy gets affected by that in a way that says, damn, what can I do? I can't do a damn thing. I can't. I'm not in his shoes. He ain't in mine, right? I wish I could say, Steve's, you know what, man, bring you out here where it's like peace and quiet and happiness, right? Where I got lucky, right? Luck. But nah, this is his situation. I can't do a damn thing about it, but he can. And guess what? His experiences are going to teach me to say, wow, what a person, what a great human being, and inspire me to be better. And that's how it all works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I battle with it all the time. Like, I got so many friends that's, not the best, worse circumstances than me. You know what I mean? Like, and I always try to help them. I'm always overextending myself, going above and beyond. You know what I mean? Because, like, my whole goal is, even with my organization I work with, is just to give my friends a platform so they can do something positive, not even have to be nothing artistic, you know what I mean, to help them put the work to help out, other people like us, to save them, you know what I mean, because there's a lot of us going down a road that's unfulfilling. There's no wins. You know what I mean? So it's like, I'm always, you know what I mean, willing to stand on the front line, stand and die for what I believe in. That's just the person I am. Like, because I want to see people win. You know what I mean? So
we lost the young brother last year, as C. Steez remembers. I mean, well, year and a half ago,
yeah.
we lost one of the people who you know, he committed suicide. You know, he was in our artist collective for 1 week. You know, loved it. You could just see the kid beaming from this, like this what he needed in his life. But it was like he was too far gone. You know what I'm saying? Like,
words. He was a good artist.
Oh man, he was dope, and he came alive. And then it was like a week later. You know what I mean? It was like faculty were devastated, students were devastated. You know what I mean? And this dude, he had been through, as you say, there's people going through it even worse. You know, this kid was definitely going through it worse. You could see it, and that's why these platforms, people don't get it. When people aren't trying to sound cool when they say hip hop saved my life or hip hop. Yo, it's again and again and again. It doesn't always have to be hip hop. It's the therapy element of this. You know, and I can say someone now, right, who's a lot more comfortable in my life than I was at one point. I know that like going through it, the only thing that I'd be looking forward to would be getting home, getting downstairs in my basement and writing my 16. You know, like I would go all day waiting to try to get there. And I'd be like, yo, as long as I've paid my light bill and you know what I'm saying, and my car doesn't get repossessed this week and I can go downstairs and I can, you know, write my 16, man, it'll be better. You know what I'm saying? And like, that would be the thing that would get you through it. It was like looking forward to something, right? And just something to look forward to. And I'm saying it to my son's 7. You know, we say this as parents, and it's like you try to get students to do this, people in general, all of us, right? To try to do the important stuff before you do the fun stuff, so you got something to look forward to, right? Like, don't always do the fun stuff first. Do the hard work first, right? Do the hard work first, so that your mind can be free to have something to look forward to. Because if right now, I was about to say, yo, I'm just gonna write the 16, which I can't wait to do. And by the way, it's true, right? Like, I can't wait, right, to write the 16. But if I did that, knowing that I got something else that's more important, you know, that I didn't take care of, man, it's not even enjoyable. And that thing is when people lose joy in their lives, you know, when they find like they can't go on. And again, as Cruz said, you can't really understand what's going through somebody's shoes, but you can recognize when someone's calling out to help. And you can recognize that sometimes it's you that actually can help with just a word or two, the right word or two at the right time to the right person, just extending that line. You know what I mean? Whether it's your platform or whether it's just the time of day, man, it's just huge. And these are unprecedented times, man. And that stuff that happened in DC is like, people are like, yo, I'm so shocked by it. Really? Like, what are you shocked by? You know what I'm saying? Like, C. Steez and I were talking about this earlier. It's like people are shocked at the results, like that a bunch of people can just storm up that are acting like fools and not
uncivilized, man,
and not get shot at the level of exactly. You know, of which Black and brown people would. I mean, come on. I mean, we obviously know
exactly, and that's ridiculous, man.
And that's like on some, like, you, and again, I don't want to make light of the people that went up and did that, but it's like when you talk about level of problems, you know, like, so your issue is that your person lost, right? And that's your protest is over that you, and before it was over that you had to wear a mask, and now it's over that your guy lost, or that you believe that there was. I mean, can you seriously believe that there was a conspiracy in multiple states? I mean, come on, it's like preposterous.
Yo, reality is that all them people that was in those photographs and doing all that, those people are gonna die with regret. Which is the majority of them, right?
I think some of them people, man, I was saying this to some people the other day, though, Cruz. I was like, some of them people, yo, Trump could have, like, you know, he talks about that I could shoot someone in Fifth Ave kind of thing. This is proof he could, right? And the people would still support him. I think he could, like, I mean this. He could kill a baby on live TV, and people would be like, yo, but you know,
exactly,
that baby was showing
the blood. They'll drink in the cup.
Yeah, look, it's crazy.
When I say regret, you cannot be in that situation, right? And not have regret at your deathbed. And I'm not talking about them storming that. That's not it. What I'm saying is that you were talking earlier about regret, really. The disciplines that you did, put your disciplines first to do the things like fun, right? Fun is just steam. It's not. There's nothing. There's no substance to it. It's just like it's good for the emotions and stuff. But reality is the disciplines are what cause you to have no regret because you got your priorities straight. You're doing everything you should be doing. So like when you're not writing that rhyme versus writing that rhyme and skipping it, there's regret in that, and that's what weighs down. These people storming this thing, it's the same situation, man. They got no disciplines in their life except going to work maybe and all that other stuff, but nothing else beyond that. And they have regret in their life. They're bad people at the end of the day. You cannot be a good person doing that. I just don't see how you can be, even if you go to church.
See, Steve, you seen some of that firsthand, man. What was it like driving through there, man? You were in the Capitol while that was happening.
It's just crazy, man. I'm not even gonna say unbelievable. I'm just like, it's just the boldness, you know what I mean? Like, but it's nothing I wouldn't have not, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I would have never expected this. Yeah, never expected. I'm not shocked. It's just like these people made it known that they were coming. You know what I mean? They, you know what I mean, rallied thousands of people, not just hundreds, a few. It was thousands. Whether they came on and driving, wherever they made it there, had a plan, and they succeeded.
Yep. Well, yeah, in part they certainly did. You know, we were at that event. Remember, we were at the event at campus when the mayor came. One of the times she came, we were up at main campus.
Yeah.
And you see how the people follow the mayor around, right? Like we were like almost laughing, like it was like the Pied Piper, man. The mayor shows up, and it's like, you know, the mayor's like got a lot of attention, right? And so I think about that, and I think about the fact that the mayor was trying to get help. You know what I'm saying? When the mayor calls, people are jumping in DC, unless the mayor's calling federal enforcement, or calling the Coast Guard. You know, who's maybe putting the finger on that scale to make sure that stuff didn't happen? Because the mayor's calling in DC, most people are jumping. You know what I mean? And our whole team.
Why wasn't there extra enforcers there?
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Extra protection. Come on, man. Like you just allowed. Just like you gave them just free will. What you said, it was like a museum. Have, you know what I mean? Get a tour.
Yeah, it was like a tour, right? It was like, come
take
on,
pictures. Take pictures.
Yeah.
This is a show.
I didn't understand that, man. That whole picture thing was like, what?
Blatantly. No repercussion. They talk about they're going to prosecute and charge. Come on, man. You're going to get thousands of people.
It's insane.
Like I said, when they was down 4D, the 4th district, they was throwing people of my skin color around and arresting them
without an issue, right?
Without, you know what I mean, without hesitating.
Yep.
No thoughts, no questions, just action.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And
no matter what, look at the future. Oh, Don Juan's definitely got to say. Sure.
Hey, I couldn't resist, guys. I just, you know, I saw you guys talking, and I said to myself, you know, I shouldn't say much. I shouldn't weigh in.
Yes, you should.
You know, absolutely, you need to.
One of the things that, you know, that strikes me, and of course you guys know this, I used to live in the Washington, D.C. area, and quite often I would walk the Capitol grounds just for fun. It was kind of like, you know, my neighborhood park, if you will. And I remember quite distinctively walking with my then wife at the time, walking around the Capitol building and being quite upset that they had put this barricade around the Capitol building. And as I'm walking with my then young wife at the time, and I'm like, I was like, this is messed up. I can't believe we used to be able to walk up the Capitol steps and look at this grand view. It really is a majestic view for those of us who remember walking up to the Capitol steps before they put the barricade around. But as I was walking around the Capitol grounds, this guy with a suit kind of walked up on behind me kind of a little bit. I kind of knew he was important because I'm like, dude, I'm a big guy. Why is this guy, you know, why is this white guy with a suit walking up on me like this? He must be somebody important. So the guy walks up on me and he's really proud, right? You know, and as it turns out, this guy's a congressman. He says, hey, would you like to go up to the Capitol steps? He's like, I can take you up there. And I'm looking at my damn wife. Hey, this might be cool. I can get some brownie points with my young fiance at the time. I said, yeah, let's go. And so here's my point. As me and my wife began to walk up the steps of the Capitol building, about 2 guards came running. Hey, you!
That was going. Yeah,
Hey, we can get 3 steps up on the Capitol building, but then they immediately looked at the guy with the suit, and as they saw this guy, they both they stepped back.
Yeah,
and right then and there, I said, "Yo, who the fuck is this?" I mean, I'm sorry. I said, "Who is this guy?" And so I didn't want to be, a prude to say, who are you? You know what I'm saying? But it was clear to me that these guys recognized this guy off the break. He was somebody important. And the fact that he says, hey, they're with me.
Yeah.
And the police just backed off, just threw me. But anyway, as we walked up the steps, the guy says, it turns out the congressman, he says to me, he says, I hope you don't mind going through the metal detector. But they're probably going to actually go through the metal detector. And I said, sure, not a problem. As I get to the top of the steps and security, and I remember it's like 3 black Capitol police officers, and they had the strangest look ever. Like, are you really with him? That's how they looked at me. They were like, they had this look like, how did you get with this guy? And so I remember we walked through the security through the metal detector. The congressman walks around the metal detector. So I immediately thought, okay, this congressman is packing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who he is, but this guy is definitely packing. But I say this to say that the guy, this congressman, he took me around the Capitol building for 2 hours. He didn't have to do it. For 2 hours, he took me around. There's a jail in the Capitol building. He took me around where some guy got shot like 200 years ago, and there's still blood on the marble steps. And most importantly, in the Capitol Rotunda, he took me around there, and there's about 50 statues. I think there's a statue for every U.S. state, I believe it is.
I had no idea when until I saw those. I was like, oh, this is kind of wild.
Wow. If you've been a pro, what amazes me and what I haven't heard on the news, if after all those people rioted the Capitol Rotunda, no one touched that very expensive artwork. I didn't hear anyone vandalizing. Have you seen it, pro?
No, I was actually wondering, like when I was watching, I was wondering if similar. I was like, were people shot because somebody decided they were going to grab some of that, you know what I mean, that museum looking stuff,
The artwork is no joke.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you're talking about paintings that are probably 20 by 40 feet.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's huge. They look priceless to me.
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt. They get the astronaut one in there, like all kinds of crazy stuff.
But I didn't mean to belabor the point, pro. But I was just astonished. But like I said, I just remember my experience. I couldn't get near the building.
Yeah,
without anyone approaching me.
Absolutely.
Yo,
people skating up in there that are armed, rocking Confederate flag, and not just like a little Confederate lapel. I mean, you see that Confederate flag, do that? How do you get through the metal detector with that? You know what I'm saying? It's like
he took that off the cavalry somewhere. There was an army of horses somewhere. He took that off of a couple of horses.
I mean, it was like, and I know the policing situation is a little different in DC. You know what I'm saying? It's different district, where you have ability to, where it's federal property and, when it's kind of like the city, kind of like the state property, whatever. I know it's tricky, but I saw what you posted too, the little meme there. You mean all I had to do was walk on up and the door's open? I was thinking the exact same thing. I was like, that's all you need to do to get in. And like a terrorist watching this kind of stuff, it's like, it can't be that easy, right? Like, why was it that easy? And that's why all these pushes that you're hearing now for, which I do think is a little crazy. It's like January 8th right now, and people are literally talking about impeaching the president again, or enacting the 25th or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like there's things that can now be done, right? That people are like, okay, maybe we're there now. Like we've always been there now. It's always been the case that dude is one step away from doing the unthinkable. And now they're calling for Trump to not have the codes. They don't want him to have the nuclear codes, right? They're like, all right, if you either resign or, somebody maybe could take away the nuclear codes, maybe we could talk about letting you serve out your last few days. But otherwise, it's like the people are actually going there. They're actually going to.
They took his Twitter away. That's embarrassing. They took the Twitter, the social media away from the president of the United States.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But talk about the biggest slap on the wrist in human history. Imagine if someone said, "Yo, you can literally lead and promote a siege, right, on the nation's capital, and it could be successful, as C. Steez pointed out. And what happens as repercussion is you lose your Twitter account."
Yeah, come on now.
Come on, man.
Great topic, Pro. I'm sorry, I got too excited there.
Don't
man.
apologize, brother. You always welcome to
Door
chime
is
in, man.
always
We
open.
love that. We love
I think I
that.
got a couple noodles on the stove burning. I got to be.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that audio. We're gonna get into that instant brotherhood.
Yeah, let's do that.
To set the mood. So I put it on. I put us on.
Oh, wait, with Nubab. What's up with Nubab? We leading with that now?
Oh yeah, let's do. Well, you know what? It jumped into the instant brotherhood and Vegas couldn't be choosers. But no, that's good. I'll do that. I'll find that new bap. All right, I got that new bap going. Now I switched over to the high audio, whatever. So you definitely see Steve's. Make sure that you got your mic muted and guys mute up and see what it sounds like.
You know, intro that track real quick one last time. So again, this is the record is called New Bap, produced by it's a dual effort. Both of these producers that I work with are from the Netherlands, and it's Mitchell Drix with Preet Rosso beats. That that's the team there, and then my man Larcy Vegas. They came together and made this beautiful beat, and of course, ProQuo had to bless it. So pay attention. Hope y'all enjoy. Chime in. Let us know what you think.
A polished rough draft.
Polished rough draft. I like that. We ain't hearing nothing yet, just so you know. We ain't getting no sound, bro. It's all good. He just forgot to do share sound, I think.
Let's try that again. So you couldn't hear it at all?
Nah.
That's interesting. I'm having a lot of interesting things.
Oh no, I think Steve's got cut off.
All right, let me figure. Oh, you know what? I know why. It was nothing major. Let's try that again. Let me tell you though, for those of you who haven't heard New Bap, I was gigging back here to that, yo. I was gigging back to it. I'm the only one who get to hear it. I get to hear it twice now. Let me bring that back to this starting point. Anticlimactic. That's what happens, man, when you pay people minimum wage, man. That's what happens,
Man, it's all good.
We're getting paid minimum wage, man. No, we're getting paid below minimum wage. All right, let's see.
But it's all good. We're building with our people.
We are. All right, let's try it again. I'm going to try it again. We're going to see if we can New Bap them out.
Let's see if it's a success. Let's see. I think it is.
It's New Bap. It's chapter 2. It's New Bap. Every line related to where I come from. We collaborate across the nation. Wrote some lyrics, let them marinate. They say it's fornication. They heart defeats a lot that might just lead to domination. I left the greed by the parking lot. I'm on this train racing. Got some beats that took me over. Now it's migration. The title's New Bap, cause the trap lanes all taken. I've been patient, got the features and I'm still chasing. Met some like minds, create a brotherhood. Now we all adjacent. The war paths in the past. Got my daughter in the bath. I work harder, nothing's trash. I want college as an option, that's math. All basics, don't wanna switch faces. It's 100, all me, never wanna trade places. If it's first or it's last, I'll always cuff these vibrations. It's New Bap.
ProQuo, baby.
It's New Bap.
Whenever I throw down the pronoun, these days it's pro now. My ascension from these lows well known, that's my hometown. Born as Peter Michael Floor, before the teacher was more of a blue-collar worker. For that paper boy, I'd sweep the floor. Was seeking more, started teaching on my first tour. Word to something different, somewhat shallow, but I Lord applaud. See what you're missing? Something different than them dancers' names. Shout out to Cheeky Tron and Shadow, that's my homie Dave. We played New England school, sure we had a single cool, but never knew what we really have is the air of the youth. Was wearing the truth on my sleeve like some fashion statement. My style was boom backpack, new jack, aspirations, motivational speaker. I'm thinking teacher now. Finished college, rocking Smith College. I'm with the teacher now. Let's take a rest, that blueprint for that boom bap. Now I'm that professor they call pro on that New Bap.
Yeah.
Had the air of the youth.
The tiger's beautiful. Got my dog
Forgot
in the
about I
back.
forgot about Henry in the back.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Hit your knees real
We
quick.
might need to leave that running.
Hit your knees real
I
quick.
didn't even know that was baby.
Yeah. Let's skip the pleasantries. I'm more about that action is the remedy. To me, that's that heavenly blessing. I question everything with faith that it will work out. I work so mentally, cause deities to me have never been really about that equity. Create my destiny. Watch the world open sesame. Since y'all been watching Sesame Street on beats obsessively. Professing these gems in the streets before my specialty. Spitting mathematics in class, my rap is therapy. Incredibly, rose through the ranks with growth steadily. My comrades falling off the feather knees like leprosy. Treachery and jealousy catching up something terribly. Many brothers questioningly gone, them John Kennedys. Been an accessory, longing for them accessories. Long as me alone, been bought up and had the recipes. Word to my enemies, I heard them say, if y'all ain't praying in this game, you better be ready to be prey.
Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick.
Yeah. Hit your knees real quick though. Get down. Hit your knees real quick though.
Hit your knees real quick.
Cruise. Yeah. Hit your knees real quick. Get blessed cause I be that slick. Your mouth on pout where I see you think. EQ the words, we don't need that drink. Fight through the urge, grown man instinct. It's consequential that I lead that rink. Armor loaded with the kinks, so I feed that sink. A lot of tears, rap pain, shorty need that mint. Self over everything, I see that link. Ghosts leaving footsteps, don't need no shrink. Then the pill before Phil, that's the book I print. Run the court like Phil, that's the mail I sent. Everything kept real, that's some 90s tip. No grips with the lip, BL's a fear my rip. Close my lips, say a prayer, then I do my
Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick.
Yeah, wait.
Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick.
Look, I pray, and I don't mean predator. Bombard heaven, hoping God help me level up. Say they digging God till it's time to pick that shovel up. Faith and no work is like etc. Young Roger Federer, I'm keeping up racket. Ballin' like I'm in the NCAA bracket. Remember when the only meal was the ramen in the packet? That's a thing of the past, like a Pelly jacket. Wanna know the tactic? Believe what you asking for, more than a rapper. He's an ambassador, I could've been a trapper, but I ain't need the back and forth. Now I just finesse away the bull like a matador. I know what they mad for, it don't even matter. Got the adversary peed off like a bladder. Hit him with the flex, making hits like a batter. Climbing to the top and I don't even need a ladder. I pray.
Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick. Hit your knees real quick.
Say what?
Say word.
Say what?
I was doing the manual fade there.
Bro, that record is crazy.
Yeah, that was kind of
yeah.
those are like, to me, those were like our B-side joints. You know what I'm saying? And those have turned out to be like kind of smooth. So for the rough drafts, you know what I mean?
Yo,
Where else do you get
they
rough
something
drafts?
else.
Who
You
plays rough
can't get them
drafts?
nowhere else, man.
Who
And
plays
that
rough
one,
drafts?
and then big shout out to On He Praise. That's produced by my man's from Chi-Town. He's actually lives in the DC area now too. That's Genesis 7 Productions. You can check him out at genesis7productions.com. And that boy, oh my goodness, always hits the soul with the beats. And
Yeah, man.
we bodied that. We put it to rest.
Yeah.
Oh, how could we get the music? Look, it's coming.
You
The
can't.
ProQuo stuff is coming.
You can sneak onto my band lab, and you know what's
Yeah,
funny
right.
is, like, I'll show you the behind the scenes here, right? Check this out. So when you see I'm on the thing here, right? So what Jay and I do, give you the real behind the scenes, is we create sort of I don't know what they call it, collection. So we just create a collection of our tracks, and I'm always changing the order, trying to see what they sound like. So this is what we're up to
You're
right now.
masterful with it.
So what'll happen? Oh, thanks, man. So what'll happen is, like, let's say if I click into Instant Brotherhood, you see I had to make it public so that Jay could hear it, right? So what happened is, like, 3 people have found it, you know, or 18 people have found it, and I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to have you find it. We were keeping it on private, but you have less access when you're doing stuff on private. So, if you were really, if you were really desperate, you could jump on our band lab and you could be hearing.
Yeah, you
sneak
can get that
previews.
leak. You can get the
Yeah,
leak.
That's that leak, and we don't care about leaks. We all good
Nah,
with
man,
that.
that's all because we know at the end of the day it's gonna come out. That's how you build a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You
man.
got to start with the frame first. Then you put the body on, put the engine in, put everything, make it polished. There you go, done.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the people to hear that. The Freedom Quarter joint is gonna be crazy, but that new joint that we got, the Remnants, man, that thing is gonna be crazy.
What was going on with C Steez there, man? He's
He's
muted.
muted, Steve.
You can
You
unmute
good,
yourself
Steve? Yeah, Steve, unmute yourself, brother.
if you have that power to do so.
It was
there we go.
difficult. I was trying to listen, and it just got stuck, and then I was
okay.
trying to get back in to listen. So
Cool.
yeah, it wasn't allowing me to.
Sorry about that, man. So
It's cool. It's
you
cool.
missed out. But yeah, man. So we just we've been busy. And there's another like 10 to 15 tracks that we decide on all the time. I got to shout out Jay Cruz, man, with the music, and this would be cool for you to hear too, C Steez. It's funny because people will be like, "Yo, Lyrical, you doing these tracks or whatever." They're just listed on my page, and you might get it twisted and think these are my songs. These are not my songs. First and foremost, yeah, they're ProQuo songs, but they're ProQuo songs because Quo has hunted down teams of producers from like around every corner of the globe and had cats like submitting crazy beats, and just he'll send me one every day and he'll be like, "Yo, this one's from like Switzerland and this one's from."
That's the Steve. That's the payoff of karma. You know what I mean? Through my journey, through this music journey, I knew immediately one of the most important things was to find producers that I really vibe with and keep a long-term relationship. And at the end of the day, when I look back, I was like, wow, I've got like 2 handfuls. And then I started meeting other people, and it's like, yo, and I got double handfuls. And it's off the love. Like, we set the goal, yeah, long-term, we gonna get paid, but it's not like it's just work. It's art, doing art, and it's beautiful. And I have to go through these websites trying to find a beat when I can just get them to the email from people I already know produce dope music, and it's been a blessing. And those are your records now, brother.
Yeah,
I pass them on to there are records.
Yeah, man. But
sure.
I just want to let people know that this is not like Pro's secret stash of beats. This is all like Quo doing the. And by the way, Quo's writing hooks and he's polishing hooks, and I'll send him a track and he'll be like, "Yeah, what do you think of this hook?" And he got like a whole new hook for it, and I'm like, "Yo, that's gonna work," So this dude's writing hooks. He's like curating beats. He's dropping verses, and most of the time, what happens is he'll send me a track. Once in a while, he'll send me a track and be like, "Yo, listen to this. What do you think?" But 90% of the time, he's got a verse for it already. So it's like he's really waiting on me most of the time. He's like, "Yo, like, what are you feeling to this?" So this is
Pro. But what's gonna be great is I will tell the people this, that the second edition, or maybe we call it chapter 2 of the ProQuo, after we finish this first one, we move on to the next, is going to be a little bit different for everybody, because I want to work together with Pro more. Like, I'm being kind of an double snake, you know what I mean, with it, because I'm like, get the beat and I'm like, and I write it out and I'm like, done, you know what I'm saying? But I think definitely on the next project, it's going to be like we're going to sit down, we're going to get the beat. I'm not going to write. We're going to both listen to it and then create. I think I'm using your ability to say, look, Pro, I got something right now. I know you could do something in like 20 minutes. So let's make that work. And then on the second project, we're going to level up, because it'll be like that real planned out where I can step my level up, because reality is I need to step up my level on the next one with the lyricism. My personal opinion. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be tweaking that formula too much, man.
I'm not going. It's. I mean, again, I'm kind of just
tweaking with a Steez verse, as we were talking about before.
Yo, Steez is getting. Yeah, Steez is getting. And I was gonna say too, I think we need to get Steez just to do. If we can't get him on the beat, do an acapella for an interlude at the outro of a song, intro to a song.
We're gonna have to see his price. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to see like what it costs to get C Steez on a track.
Yeah, there's value to that.
There's value there, right? You know what I mean?
Facts.
So we blessed to have C Steez in the building once again. Yeah.
You have an internet connection problems there, Steve?
I think you muted. No, you're not muted.
No, he's not. I can't hear him.
Yeah. Switzerland. Put some Bootsy Collins in that beat pot. They're onto it. Yeah, man.
Oh, there we go. I think we got you, Steve. No, we drop him again.
He dropped
Switzerland
himself.
put some Bootsy Collins on that beat pot.
We got plenty of spammers in here though. Right, Tom? I'm seeing them too. We get all kinds.
I just had one question before y'all transition.
What's that?
Like Jay. Yeah, I was about to have.
Oh, we lost.
Man,
he was in that zone.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, see, Steez, if you watching, man, you gotta type me the question, man. You type me that question, I'll be like, yo, let me. Actually, speaking of which, I lost my phone, man. Yo, and when I lost my phone, I looked down, and I saw this. Tell you what, hold on, let me get off that.
There you go.
I saw this right there, man, and I'm telling you, like, I'm usually kidding around, right? But let me tell you, our household. This is like that high quality fig bar. This is like, you gotta like go in the cool part of the grocery store and find them hidden gems. I don't know if you got them, right? But this is like that soccer mom snack or soccer dad snack, right? Anyways, these fig bars right here, my son polishes these fig bars, and I know that's not great, but we put like a 2 a day.
It's better than, dude. It's better than Oreos.
Dog,
you know what I'm saying?
Polishes these things. Yo, he only eats the blue ones now too. The blue ones, the blueberry joints.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, and it's led to me, man. So I'm gonna have to make the official, unofficial sponsor part 2, man. It's gonna have to be Nature's Bakery, man.
I like that, the fig bar.
Yeah, man. It's like for an artist who's on the road, you know what I'm saying? Or a professor who's going to teach a class, a student who's going to run out. You just pop that in the pocket. It's like the astronaut food. It's good forever, and they're good. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, right.
It's a little bit better than the old standby. You know what I'm saying? But
Jesus,
I'm sure I could be swayed. If Cheez-Its wanted to call up and give me that hidden secret and hit us with that real, sponsorship, just flood up the house with the Cheez-It boxes with the kinds that the regular viewing public doesn't even know about. I'm sure there's something up there, that I could find.
You're a lifelong customer, man, for
lifelong,
real.
Man, lifelong. You know what I mean?
Lifelong. Yo, I'm telling you, I was like, damn, should I bring that Gillette up?
Yo,
you know what I mean?
That
Gillette.
Doubled up. Oof. Yeah.
I'm telling you, Gillette's gonna have a sponsorship for sure, bro. Because every time I use that razor, man, I'm like, damn, it's so good.
we might have to make a clip out of this, right? Ready? We're gonna we're gonna hash it up here. Ready? We're gonna all totally not planned, right? But kind of planned because we're gonna make a clip out of it, right? So it's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like, Cheez-It. You've seen us multiple weeks now, rocking the Cheez-Its. We rock the fat-free Cheez-Its. We rock the special kind of Cheez-Its, the extra cheddar Cheez-Its. I got all brands, all shapes, all sizes. Jay came with the family value size, right? He had that large, the jumbo. I don't even know what you call it, but it's
family size.
Many Cheez-Its is what it is, right? Many Cheez-Its, right? I go to my grocery stores, honestly, Cheez-It people, and some grocery stores don't have the reduced fat Cheez-Its that I like. Like, we were talking about that. You can't get reduced fat Cheez-Its just anywhere, right? You're not going to find them in Target. You're not going to find them in Walmart. They just aren't doing the reduced fat like that. So what I'm saying is there's a crowd for you. There's a crowd for the ProQuo Show. And there's a common overlap in that Venn diagram, and we need to get together and make something happen and get it popping with Cheez-Its.
For real. Cheez-Its need to interject.
Yeah.
Say something.
So I'm about a day away from writing the Cheez-It letter. You know what I mean?
You were about 45 minutes away from it, actually.
But why write a letter when you can send a clip, right?
There you go. Even better with the letter.
Yeah. That's what I'm
You get the clip and the letter, the kit. You're gonna get the whole kit.
Yeah, man. Yo, I need to. Speaking about outlets, we're talking about, since Steez in here right now. Let's talk about these C's, man. Let's talk about these C's just a little bit. You been watching these boys?
What that 40 with Tatum?
No, I'm talking. Well, yeah, absolutely.
And the COVID issues.
I'm talking Jaylen Brown with the 40, right? Jaylen Brown had what was it, 42?
Jaylen had 42, and then Tatum followed up with a 40-point game.
Crazy, right? But Jaylen Brown though kind of shocked me with I mean, I know he's nice, but you don't think 40. You know what I'm saying? Jaylen, you think, yo, he's draining the threes. Yo, who out there right now in the NBA you feeling? Anybody listening to this right there? And think about it. Like, who you feeling in the NBA right now? Like, who's surprising you if you're honestly watching it? And it could be on the Celtics, But I'm gonna say it was Jay's boy, man, Pritchard again last night with the winner.
Yeah,
Game
man. It's
winner, man.
I like it's crazy because when I saw it, I got excited because I'm like, this kid is gonna be something.
Yeah, he is.
You
man.
know, and the other dude, you know, like I was like, yeah, okay, but Pritchard, man, even though he went deeper in that draft, it don't matter.
Don't
Look
matter.
at some of these other drafts,
Can't,
right?
can't
in the
rate heart,
team.
man.
Nah,
Can't rate
man.
heart.
Hustle, heart, skill,
Absolutely.
creativity.
They said he's like the old man in the YMCA. They said his game was like, yo, it's like he's doing these little funny moves in the middle. You know what I'm saying? It was so on point. Whoever said that, and it's funny, right? Because we say that, and it's like, yeah, amongst who he's playing with, like he plays like the old man at the YMCA, but it's like the dude would drop 300 points on you if he was playing at your local gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't know what to do.
300 points. If you played for an hour, he'd have 300 points. You know what I'm saying?
I believe that.
And it's like, I say this constantly. It's like about NBA players. I can't stand when people are like, yo, they're trash or whatever. The worst player in the NBA is a monster, you know? And
And this is a kid. So it's like when this kid becomes a man.
Yeah. I think he's like the same age as Jaylen Brown. I mean, the same age as Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Right.
Jason Tatum's 22.
Oh, so Pritchard he did 4 years then.
I think so. I think so. But whatever. He's the same relative age as Jason Tatum. You know what I mean? It's just like he don't have the same relative.
The best thing that happened, exactly. But the best thing that's happened is that Tatum, you get 40 points.
Ball, yeah, definitely. Yep.
You get 40 points, you're fitting into your body. That's a good sign.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he was definitely struggling with it in the beginning, like, yo, what's up with these 2 inches? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he's finding it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you take cat like Pritchard too, back to the Pritchard thing. Dude's 6'1". It's so funny how that's like a short human. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right?
Dude still had to be 6'1" to be able to do most of what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? If he would have been 5'9", you know, probably wouldn't have, you know, he probably wouldn't have been the next Isaiah. You know what I'm saying? But being 6'1", and it's like Steph Curry. Steph Curry's like the same size as me. And I don't know about you, but my entire life, everywhere I've gone, people are like, yo, there's that tall dude. You know?
Right.
I'm just I'm a little under 6'4". You know what I'm saying? I'm like same height as Steph Curry. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to play like point guard in today's NBA. You know what I'm saying? And
man.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
That dude, DeAndre Fox, man. He's something special. That dude's gonna be nice, man. Explosive. Yeah, he already is right.
Yeah.
I like watching him.
Word.
Saw some highlights with that. But yeah, the C's, man, it's good to be able to say, wow, our team is coming together, and hopefully I know was it their update on Kemba with his knee?
Oh yeah, I heard them talking about it. I was fast forwarding actually because I was watching it on my thing last night.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually catch what they said, but they were giving an update, but I didn't catch it. I just assumed it was...
I think it's good news. I skimmed by it today too. So
yep.
But you know, we're good.
What's up with your girl, Catherine Morrow, man? What's up with Catherine?
Oh man, I forgot. Yeah, we got to get Catherine Morrow up in here again. Yeah. I just it's like everything's last minute on these Fridays. I've been doing so much, and I'm like, damn. That's why we're running. Yeah, we talking about it, people. We're gonna be getting more structured up in here, and we're gonna have some more consistency when it comes to having segments and breaking the show up. But reality is, hanging with the homies is the whole moral of the story.
Hanging with your homies, man. It's hanging with your people. We love hanging with people that we know, and we also love people that we don't know as well too. So keep it official either way. So again, if people didn't catch us earlier, we were talking about if you got some music and you want to get it played, we'll play it and we'll review it while we're talking. We'll give you honest feedback on it. You know, we'll just give you kind of like where we're at with it, what we think about it, what we feel about it, because I'm sure that's what you'd want. And then
just a real quick note for the people that are doing this as well. Make sure you guys ain't using no jack beats.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only criteria. If you want to come in freestyle, you could do that, whatever. But if you're gonna send us music, you cannot use jack beats, unfortunately, because of the platforms, and they'll kick us off from our live, and that's a headache, and we ain't trying to have that.
Absolutely.
You know.
Good point.
Yeah. So make sure it's original.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then
I can't wait to hear some stuff.
The on the other side, let me show them this. Let me put this up here. See if I can give you that's the wrong one. We don't want to show. Maybe it is. Yeah, it is the right one. Okay, it is the right one. So let's do this. Let's do a share screen. Go over to here, hit you with this, and this is kind of the rundown. So y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
You see that, J. Cruz?
Being on the show, okay.
Yeah. So being on the show,
Mm-hmm.
boom. Let's make it big. There is
Yeah.
absolutely no ProQuo on the ProQuo Show, aka it's free to submit. We ain't never charging you. We're talking about you just sending up your music. I needed the picture to fill in the blank template there, so I put one of my rim.
And that's a very nice picture.
I'm still excited about my car. Yeah, so which I've not really shared on this show, but you know that's you can get a wheel. But anyways, it's free to submit. We ain't charging you money. If it's quality and you think it's worth running, yo, run it. We really haven't told many people about that yet. So 5 minutes of flames. This is the deal. Submit your music, we play it and review it. And what do we ask, J. Cruz?
We ask our guests to do the same, man, and we will give you honest feedback on the spot.
Yeah.
And again, the beautiful thing is you ain't gonna pay nothing, man. We ain't pinning no cash app. We ain't doing none of that. You get to hear from polished MCs honest feedback, and that's a huge bonus.
And it looks official. You be up on Hiphopcitizen, you know what I'm saying? Rocking with the ProQuo Show. You can clip that up. You can be up there and be like, yo, hear people bumping it, show it to people, send you a clip, do what you got to do. Yeah. So after 5 minutes, we're going to interview you. That's what I'm saying. It'll definitely look official. So, and speaking of official, how do you officially get a hold of the official ProQuo Show? It's the ProQuo Show at gmail.com. And, you know, J. Cruz, you cool with people hitting you on the social media, right?
Absolutely, man.
I'm cool with
I got my phone number on there too, so I mean you can hit me with a text. You know what I'm saying?
Big Mike. yeah, man.
So whatever you want to do to get in touch with us, reach out, and the effort is okay. Just don't be spamming like crazy with nonsense. You know what I mean? But if you're genuinely trying to do something, hit us up.
And if you sitting there going, yo, how can I be a regular guest on the Pro Show? And by regular, we don't mean like you up every week like C. Steez. Right. It's been on multiple times, right? Like we letting our homies through that we know, come chat it up with us like that. But by regular guest, we just mean to be a featured guest. You know what I mean? So if you want to be a featured guest as opposed to the 5 minutes, it's the same thing, man. Just hit us up. Don't give us like a book. Don't tell us like, send us 20 pages. Just give us a couple hundred words. Tell us why we should have you up, because we are interested in not just having the people that we know. We do have a relatively big network of people we know that we think are interesting, people that we want to have up here, but we want to make it wider than that. So we officially asking, all right? So you want to be a guest, send it through to the ProQuo Show at gmail.com, and you can be up on this Hiphopcitizen platform, the ProQuo Show, where we broadcast and chop it up and make it look hot and send it to whoever you need. I mean, it will look hot, but
absolutely.
That's it.
And get to tell your story. That's the cool thing, man. It's about meeting new people and also finding like-minded people, because you never know. You could be featured on a record.
You could be.
You could be.
You could have your 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah, you don't know. I love how you running that, man. He's so talented. Look at that. He built that whole thing himself, man.
I'm pressing 2 buttons, man. It's don't. I appreciate it, man. But I'm just pressing buttons. You know what I mean? You can enlarge it on the spot, but prezzies are cool though.
Yeah, they're very, very cool, man.
Yeah, there's some other things out there that people can get.
So yeah, Pro. We have a beautiful body of work already together, and I'm very happy and excited about the transformation that's occurring with my mental attitude towards this whole project. And we talked today earlier about finding self, more or less, and reasons why we do what we do when we're writing and all that. And I was telling Pro, I was like, yo, I have a lot of greed motivating my music, and I've had that previously. I was actually just writing for money, literally making records for money. That was my whole thing. And then I realized that's no good. You can't do that. And the reason why was I started to hate it. I was like, yeah, I was forcing myself to do it, but I had no enjoyment. It was more like, I've been doing this my whole life. I'm going to continue to do it because I'm not wasting that time. Right. And it was miserable. But then I started having fun. Found my voice, found my flow. Big shout out to my man, Lenny Thompson, aka The Magician, who really, without him, I would never been able to make that transition from Quo Kane to J. Cruz, even though Quo Kane still remains, J. Cruz was necessary to find. And that's the voice, the authenticity that we talk about always, the brotherhood, the instant brotherhood thing that Pro and I have. And I really do feel like these new records that I create moving forward, man, I'm gonna be cuss free.
What?
I really feel it, man. I had after that conversation today, and I talked to my girl, and I'm like, it just, why not when I can? And when I can, the result that I'm gonna get is gonna be so beautiful, because, like, just as an example, right? You can put your music up on all these platforms and you don't have to worry about radio edits. You're always ready with something that's clean, right? Just that alone, one
What
thing,
up,
not, hey, what's up, brother? Not counting the things that are for family, for, peace of mind of how you're, building yourself up and how you're holding a standard for yourself to be a better person, right, and grow.
Right.
That's a part of growth,
right?
And you, man, without meeting you, I don't know if I would have really ever found that. Maybe eventually, but you kind of just like you collapse that time frame for me. So yeah, it's official, man. It's already made up in my subconscious, and I had to talk to you about it today.
I know you mentioned it before. You mentioned it like a week ago, and I didn't know if you meant on this project for full, or if you meant on the track or whatever. I was like, okay, that's big, man. So that's a huge topic for MCs, man. It's a huge thing. We lifting the veil again and telling the people who are here still rocking with us. I know we got to wrap up soon. But JC, man, our show is just about we're just two MCs, and I'm a professor and a rapper. And I'm from the same place Jay's from, and from Massachusetts originally. We call the Ville one of our homes. I was up in Somerville, J. Cruz fam there too, and I'm from Lowell, and I moved out to the DC area. My wife is from Northern Virginia, and so I'm out here now, and we just been doing music across this platform, and we got some relatively interesting lives and stories and wise little adages to talk about here and there when we can, and just bring interesting people up into the fold and just try to make it a platform for other people. But first and foremost, ProQuo is just two MCs who put our minds together to make some music, and we're just sharing.
Yeah, COVID created.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Reality. You know what I mean?
I was doing some battle things, and Jay was sending tracks, and Jay was like kind of like nibbling around the edges, like being like, "Yo, Pro, man, maybe we should do a track. Maybe we should do this." I've got this instant brotherhood.
Concept. That was the lead on it. Actually,
that's how he hit me with. He hit me with the instant brotherhood, yo. So why don't we give him instant brotherhood, and then I wanted you to hit him with that parable thing you were telling me about too, man.
The parable. Yeah, we could definitely talk about
crazy,
that.
Man.
So actually, what we'll do is we'll intro this first too. But also say that to set off the parable, we're going to talk about the philosophy is what you don't use, you lose, right? What you don't use, you lose. Right. So the craft that we both are involved with, we started at very young age. I wrote my first rhyme at 7.
Yeah.
I recorded my first track at like 11, and I never stopped. Yeah. So therefore, I have not lost it. Most people lose, and sometimes they don't even know they have it, but it goes away. So that'll be set up for the parable. But this record, Instant Brotherhood, is produced by my man Mitchell Drix out of Pre-Rosso Beats from the Netherlands. They highlight a lot of these records, actually. The Europe is crazy with that. Got my man from France too at some point. But Instant Brotherhood, produced by Mitchell Drix. And this is going to be on the ProQuo album. It is actually the title of the album.
Yeah.
And it's really the thing that brought us together for sure. Like to create
Absolutely.
what you're
It
seeing.
was your whole concept, man. This is your baby, and so let's run it. This Instant Brotherhood, J. Cruz, Professor Lyrical, aka Quo King, and Pro. There you go with the ProQuo Show. Check it out. Well, it was a lot of build-up for something that isn't playing. It was real good build-up, man. I really appreciate that lead.
It was close.
Let's try one more time.
We failed twice on that today.
Twice, man. Twice.
It's all good.
It's just like nah. But remember, hey, before I came up on the show, we've had we've also had C Steez dropping in and out with the connection too. But I had my computer dropped right out, so I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, our show starts at 9. I was like, hey, I'm here. It's 8:58 and 35
We
seconds.
got exactly a minute and a half before the show starts. But it's
Yeah.
all good. We made it and we were on time and everything was presented well.
So I came up with a trick to get this thing to play early. I'm not going to tell people what it is yet because it's like a life hack, and we do life hacks here and there. But I'm going to tell people the life hack later if it works. I got to confirm that this works. If this works, I found another life hack.
Figured it out.
And I'm going to share it with people. All right, let's see if this works. If it doesn't work, it's not a life hack. Let's try this. It worked. All right, so let me try it. Shut that down.
My daughter trying to get up in the screen. Get your head down here. We can't be showing you to the public yet.
Oh no, that's how I run, man. All right,
That's
here we
how
go.
you have to.
Here we go. You see that?
Yeah.
Tell me if you hear that. All right, I'm going.
Yo, what's up?
What it is,
Instant brotherhood.
you already know.
People stop believing in that kind of thing, though, you know what I mean?
True indeed.
You create your own fate, see? Remind myself I'm only good as what my tapes be. Been rhyming over rhythms for a while, it's one take beat. Dialing up the FaceTime, the purest MC. Wildin' over here, surviving presidency. Lifestyle changes off of things we can't see. You all covered up, I'm unclothed, all free. Now I wanna come relieve my son's the energy. Physical flaws testify the best breed. Intervals pause, time to keep it OG. My essence too deep, no sleep, too identical. Forgot unique, lost sight of the general. You hear crews and go to church all week. Rain fire over each one of these beats, no cheat. Hip hop election here. Pro told me that my lyrics like the best of years. Say cheers.
Yeah, that there, that's my brother though. True fam, same vibe, different mother though. Sick for years, no tears, never suffered though. Immunity, split from the herd, we them buffalo. Y'all haven't heard, take the word, but discover though. Once Doctor and a beast come together, Mark Ruffalo. The upper glow, out the east, blow the cover though. And I ain't superstitious, but I'm bumping Stevie Wonder though. If we receive them keys like Khaled in the same keys of life, could we harmonize the ballads? Y'all know the skills from the superficial battling, but once we dig through the depths, it gets staggering. True swag is on the end, had to master it. The reciprocal superficial's just masking it. See pro, then you see my glow. See crews, each other's, we them CEOs, my brother.
He went in on that beat.
No, I love the end. I love the beat flips up at the end, yo. It's crazy.
Yeah, he went in on that, man. We definitely did too.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a nice intro, man. So that's the intro. That's basically almost like the second theme to this show, man. You know what I mean? You know, that Final Fire joint is crazy. But anyways, that's kind of what we do with the music, and that's how we've been connecting. Otherwise, we're just reaching out to people, just trying to keep this popping for people that are checking it out. We appreciate all the people too. We fall somewhere between, I think, been getting around like somewhere between 1,000 and a couple thousand views of people checking out at a on a Friday night. Throughout the week, you know, people checking out as well too, and we are really slacking in terms of our promo game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
we getting on it though.
We got to be
definitely
on it,
getting
and we got to treat it like other people would treat their shows too. Jay and I were talking about our sort of our commitments that we got, and how, you know, we'll be like, yo, it's Thursday at 5. Yo, we got to start thinking about what we're gonna do for the show, you know. And I do want to tell people that my man Corey Robinson from Lowell, running for city council, not a former, he's an MC. I was gonna say we did a track together back in the day. We're gonna have him up here real soon. He was trying to make it happen for tonight, especially to talk about what was going on with the situation, you know, obviously in the nation's capital and the craziness there, you know, and just kind of his take on that, and then and other things too, you know, just situation in the world. So we look forward to having him up here soon. We told y'all about ways to hit up Jay, ways to hit up myself. He'll, you know, trying to get cats, whether they're regular guests that we don't know or people to do the 5 minutes of flames, man, just to submit your music. It's free. There's no ProQuo on the ProQuo Show, right, Jay?
That's right. You know how that goes.
You want to leave him with that parable?
Yeah, yeah,
full-
definitely.
from
And
full version.
I think that for anybody out there that is, we just coming off the New Year episode where we had my pops Jack Silva on here, and he dropped a lot of gems on us about the bridges of freedom, really, and how to get there, right? And it's all basics. It really is. There's nothing more. It's simple, and it's, simple doesn't necessarily mean easy. It's definitely a challenge, but it is simple. And, as artists and dreamers, especially my dreamers, no matter what you're doing, you can be anything. But if you're a dreamer, stay dreaming, because that's the most important thing. And always remember that, again, if you don't use something, you lose it. So I'm going to set you up with this parable. It's called the parable of the talents. And how it goes, it's an ancient verse, and this master had 3 servants. And the master says he's going to go on this journey. So he says, but look, I got these talents. And back then, talents were actually measures of gold. Mm-hmm. So he said, I got these talents. I'm going to go away on this journey, and I'm going to give you guys these talents and see what you can do with them. We'll check the books, make it all work out. And did as he gave to his first servant 5 talents. He gave to his second servant 2 talents. And then the third one, he gave him 1. So now he goes on his journey, and he says, when we come back, we'll reconvene, go over these books and see how y'all did, right? So he goes, comes back. Now when these back servants come, he's like, hey, he did what he said. He's going to ask him what's going on and how did you do with your talents. So the first guy with the 5 talents, he says, well, hey, look, man, it was tough, but look at this. I had these 5 talents. They grew to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I got 10 talents, right? So he doubled his talents. It's like the master says, great job. Very good. Second servant. So how'd you do? He's like, well, it was about the same. The winter was tough. It was, but at the same time, I went out and I did what I had to do. And then he said, well, how did it go? Well, I turned my 2 talents into 4. He doubled his talents again, right? He's like, again, great job. Good job, man. Very good. Now he goes to the third servant who's got the 1 talent. And he's like, so tell me what you did. How'd you make out? He's like, well, let me tell you what I did. What I did is I carefully wrapped this talent. Mm-hmm. And I buried it. And I knew that you was coming today, so I dug it up. I got the talent, and here it is. It's safe. No one stole it. Mm-hmm. The master says, okay, I want you to give that talent to the man with 10. And the thing is like, as in our human nature, we're saying to ourselves, well, that's not fair. Mm-hmm. You're going to give you only gave 1 talent to this dude, and now you're going to make him give it away, master? Mm-hmm. What's up with you?
What's up with
that? What you don't lose, you use, you lose. You forfeit. He forfeited it, right? And that applies.
So he wasted his talent, literally.
Wasted.
Yeah, man.
Wasted. So, guys, you can't, if you're a dreamer and you've spent X amount of time, no matter what it is, and it usually starts at a young age, and sometimes it's okay to leave it and come back to it, but always dream, and just remember that the more you use that talent, the greater you're going to a possibility and probability of success.
That's fresh,
right? Look at who was it? Maya Angelou, that was 70. How old was she when?
Yeah.
So that's an example of like you don't know when it's going to come. So anyway.
Yo, perfect timing. Well, not perfect time, but I'm looking at the time, and I know we got a show following us, I believe,
we
too,
do.
Tonight. So I think we got jumped. But peace to everybody out there.
Yeah,
that was
man.
a dope story. Thanks for
Appreciate
the
it, brother.
We out.
Have a good night, y'all.
Peace.